It's kind of hard because he used to just be right over there. All we really have left behind from him is, I don't know, I guess some puke. He puked in the truck. It's not much to remember him by. And guys, I'm going to show you this over here. Man, sometimes, I mean, just look at this once. Look at this heaping mound of mulch just chucked right in the walkway. And same thing over here. This one's kind of barricaded off by buckets. That one's kind of barricaded off by a pitchfork and a shovel. This one's flatter. But you look at these just, you know, heaping mounds coming through there. That's like 2 feet deep from the ground level. It's actually, you know, taller than a bucket. This is probably level right here. And this thing too. And you wonder what in the world did the children just chuck this somewhere because they weren't given much guidance or instruction? Well, actually I did that. The thing is, okay, we're on a deadline, right? We've got less than a week now till we're planning on heading up to Michigan, which means anything that happens on this property to prepare for that's got to happen this week, and that's in the midst of me leaving for work and doing other things and whatever else might be going on. So I ran into town yesterday as I wanted to, and I brought back a load of mulch as I wanted to. But then I had an opportunity, okay? We were taking our oldest male dog, Thorn, and he was just not working out for our homestead. We didn't really need 2 males to begin with, so we were going to keep Blizzard, his son. And then for some reason, Thorn, I don't know if it's from before we got him or what, but he was always kind of skittish around me. I'd walk by, or, you know, any men, really. He'd cower. He'd pee on himself and stuff like that, so I'm thinking some things happened earlier in his life that he was never able to shake. I definitely went out of my way to try to be real friendly with him and, you know, always saying hi to him kindly and petting him and other things, but, you know, he wasn't, I don't know, he just wasn't good with men, I guess. And then also, he wasn't very good with our sheep, which he came from some goats is where he was, so we were hoping to maybe send him to a new home before we left, just so there's one less chore around here to do. And then I didn't want to just take a dry run that far, just for the sole purpose of gifting somebody a dog. So I was hoping to have a little more hay before we left, just for the sheep and goat and stuff. So I was trying to get a hold of my friend who's got the hay I want, because I don't want Bermuda grass hay. And finally, he answered. He gave me a green light. The lady was going to be able to meet me actually right on my way, but it was about an hour and a half away from here. So I just had to unload that trailer quick. I've got all these big stepping stones that I'm stepping on. There's some more over there in different places and behind me. And I just want to remulch this whole area, especially where, like, we've been redoing, you know, I moved these. So I want these blueberry plants to get mulched. I want them to get rocked so there's a visible thing around them so people don't step on them. I want all these green briars that are shooting through the ground here to be able to get pulled up. I want this whole thing mulched, and then I want the children to be taking paths. Okay, so now it's, I guess you gotta call that hail. There's tiny hail falling everywhere. Wow, okay, that kind of came out of nowhere. Now we've actually got either sleet or hail. There's actually little balls of it, but I don't think it's quite classified as hail yet. Anyway, got that load of mulch I got to spread out. I'm just not going to do it this second for obvious reasons. But I need to unload that quick to get an empty trailer so we can take this trip here that I'm about to show you. And then we'll have to unload hay. I don't know if you guys can see way back behind me, but there's a dog in here, and it's part of trying not to make an empty move. with the upcoming trip here to Michigan, we were hoping to get rid of our extra male dog. The only lady we could find was a bit of a drive away, and she was unable to make that drive. Now, I don't want to just drive somewhere to give a dog away for free, because that'll cost me maybe more than I'm willing to part with sometimes. But a buddy of mine has some great hay that I really like. I'm gonna need a little more hay to get through the year, and then also if I plant any more seed, I'm gonna use that hay on top of our pastures to help build it up. So we are heading on a drive. We got an empty trailer ready to get some hay, and we're gonna drop off our beautiful, wonderful dog on the way, and that hurts a little bit. I know Mama Pepper seemed kind of emotional when I was leaving. Red Pepper staying home to take care of some stuff, get us ready for our trip. She had tears in her eyes. We'll see how it goes, but if he can go to a good home, we'll be excited about that. And the lady wants him as a poultry dog. Cool thing is, he lets ducks eat his dog food out of his dish. So, I mean, if a dog is going to be defensive about something, a lot of times it's going to be their food. So if he's letting ducks eat out of his dish, hopefully it works out really well for this lady. We'll see. Well, guys, it is kind of like losing a loved one. Taking somebody who's kind of been a member of our extended animal family for a bit now and sending him on his way to a new home. But I'd rather have him go somewhere he can take care of somebody's needs, be a good part of their family and their group for now, than kind of have him be at our place where we don't really particularly actually even have a use for him at this point. So we're going to give a couple goodbyes. I think we just made it here a little bit before the lady we're meeting, and then we'll go from there. Well, that is bittersweet. He's onto a good home, and sounds like she's got a couple of girlfriends waiting for him, or prospective wives, I guess, if you want to call it that. So that'll be good for him. He definitely enjoyed hanging out with Rosemary when he was able to. So one less puppy, kids. Let's go get that hay and let's go home and eat some jerky.
Yeah.
Ready, Bugger?
Yeah.
You say yes, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Cool thing here too is man, I got this roofed, in a really good time, because then I was able to find a friend of mine who had the hay I was looking for. I could get round bales and probably save some money, but all the round bales around me have Bermuda grass in them, and I do not want to introduce that anywhere near my garden area, just because of how incredibly rampant it'll grow. So to have all this stacked up to the ceiling, ready to go for our trip, and then plenty when we come home too. Just went over the chores with a neighbor who's going to be watching the animals while we're gone. So I'm going to get a load of mulch and finish that other project, and maybe be really ready just for a lot of things when we get home. And there's probably 4 ewes that could potentially lamb before we get back too. I'm not sure if any of them will still go before we leave, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So at the moment, I figure it only makes sense to kind of make hay while the sun is shining, to make sure to be getting as much stuff done before I leave, so that way there's as least amount to take care of when I get back. Probably hitting work again off-site tomorrow, so I wound up with some free time today, and that is exactly what I plan on doing, is making sure I get the most use of my time. That said, I've got to go drop off a couple of orders at the mail. Those are both actually Etsy orders, and they both are the toothache plant flowers. It seems like the biggest thing going from our shop on the Etsy is the toothache plant flowers. One guy actually ordered a couple packets a while ago, and I noticed the name again. So we sell 20 flower heads in there in a packet. He ordered 2, so I sent him 3. Figured, well, he obviously needs some. Says his wife has some sort of chronic, pain, and these toothache plant flowers are like the only real relief or lifesaver that she has. So he ordered 2 more packets, and there's probably 100 and some, probably 150 flower heads in there. He ordered 40, but I'm like, hey, if she's in that much pain, we'll send that and bless them. They're paying for the orders and for shipping anyway. And then I told him in the thing, crumble one up. All the little black things that come out of there are seeds, put them in the ground, grow your own. That way you've got some long-term, help on site yourself, just to kind of relieve some of that pain. So I'm gonna drop those off at the mailbox and then get another load of mulch, because I want to try to finish that landscaping, or at least a good portion of it, in front of the poultry pen. Wow, I'm rather excited about this, just because I did not think I'd be getting this much done. That stuff in that area was not even an idea a little bit ago. It's all brand new to me. So just to kind of have an idea and then do that much stuff in this short of amount of time while I'm doing so many other things, we'll see. But just trying to knock out a bunch of stuff before I got to go to Michigan here. And then there's actually 3 books I've got to work on editing and putting out. We'll see. Maybe March will be a month where I really try to tackle the book things. We've got an opossum project kids book, fiction story, but also just educational packed, full of fun facts. And then The Love Like His, which is a novel I started writing a decade ago now, but it's almost there into reality where people can read it. It's been I love listening to the audio version of it. I love just reading it. The editing process is painful, but I like the storyline. I definitely enjoy that. And then we are working on the Why We Homestead book too. Probably going to get some copies. I think I got 4 out of 6 back already from our beta readers. So I appreciate everyone involved in that project. Definitely be giving you guys a shout out in the book, and then sending you guys some free copies for your effort too. And then I'm gonna have to see too, when I head up to Michigan here, I might have to either take some of the toothache plant flowers with me, because on Etsy you've only got a short window of time to get your orders mailed out. I might have to take some stuff with me. On the Homesteaders Co-op site, which people have ordered a lot of stuff from there, definitely appreciate it. It helps our family produce some income from the house. But that I've got a week or 2 I can, have before I even send out the order. So I kind of set my own time on that. Normally it's within a couple days, but those I can let build up if anyone orders from the Homesteaders Co-op store. And we're still sending out free Malabar spinach seeds with every order. So that's one of my top 4 garden plants. The best plant I did not plant last year because it rocked out so hard. So I'm gonna get this mulch. I'm gonna get this stuff done at the post office, and then we're going to get back to work quick, right, boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to go? All right guys, I'll show you this load and give you a look at this area first, and then I'll see what I can do. But pretty good. A lot of my life is spent wet. It's either cold and rainy or it's so hot I'm sweating, but the show must go on, so we gotta do this stuff. I'm gonna unload this mulch here, and here's what the area looks like so far. So far a couple service berries, a wall of stuff, a lot of different stepping stones left organized, extra scraps I'll have to pick up. Come through this area, started mulching some of this, got more to take care of, more just random stuff that needs to be picked up. Then a lot of the work's gonna have to go into this area with removing the greenbrier. That's pretty much, you know, growing all over here. But rip all this stuff up, mulch the whole thing, and then when it springs back up and comes through, we'll be able to snap it off and eat it like asparagus. So that'll be good. Here is kind of this area ahead of time. We'll see what it looks like if I can even get this done right now. Well, here's what we got missing so far. Here's what it was able to get us. So I will dust them off. They'll look a little nicer too, or when the first rain comes in. Oh, that's for the ducks. But yeah, that's mulched. This is coming across. We'll keep filling on through here, see what happens. And get some more greenbrier out. Yeah, that stuff is thorny. I should have gloves. Came out though. Yep, that's all the farther a load goes. And yes, I brushed off the rocks. So here we have an entrance through two of our archways, and we've got some stepping stones. Okay, the goal is, like I said, I'll have some stuff growing up here and there and going over the top of this poultry stuff, and I'm going to pretty much have a stepping stone path for the children to follow. And then in between where we're stepping, there's going to be fruit trees and berry bushes and stuff like that. So you can see this peach tree here. It's getting ready to bloom. I've got some persimmon trees I left around here too. The goal is to graft into them some of the Asian varieties. So although I'm done with those first two archways and I got it fading back and across, I still got these heaping mounds in here. Oh, that's really big. I'm gonna try to pull back, see what I can do around these blueberry bushes, and kind of begin to come across the rest of this area. A lot of times when I have this grass here too, I'll scrape it bare with a hoe or something ahead of time and then suppress it. Not sure if I'm gonna do that or if I'm just going to lay it on thick. I might just lay it on thick and then as things poke through, kind of weed them out and stuff. But let's get this spreading, see what we can get through here. So I once again reached that point in my life where it seems to be the story of my life, and that is simply everything appears to be a lot more work than I initially think. But that's okay, I don't mind doing it. So here we go, archway 1, coming down from the pond area, archway 1. And you can walk in here over to the ducks or head down that way to the water and to archway 2. Archway 2, you can head in here straight to the water, take a left to archway 3, take a right towards the ducks. Archway 1, archway 3, walk in here, eventually you'll be able to head up to the guineas or up to the chickens. Right now you can head over to the water, or you can head past the blueberries over to archway 4. And then we got archway 4. Come in here, head that way over towards the peach tree. This way you'll eventually be able to head up over there or over there or over there. And we've probably got 3 or 4 more loads of mulch just to suppress this area. This is so wild, I've never been completely through it. So there's all sorts of stuff growing up in it. Happy to be getting things that I actually want here established. Oh, can't wait to mulch this out, kind of finish the rest of it. Like I said, these will be just guides to help the children kind of stay on the path. And then I'll keep putting things up that are food bearing and serve a purpose for us between that. Like everything in my life, guys, it's a work in progress, but we are working, definitely, and we are making progress. The cool thing too is a lot of these are free sources. So although it looks like a lot of effort, other than the T-posts, the cattle panels, the majority of what you see going on right here in this area has been free. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely a lot of work. Can't wait to see what it looks like come springtime and we can start planting. So we get to sit here and kind of have that somber moment of reflection on the dog Thorn that was able to bless our family for a while, but he's on to bigger and brighter things. Hopefully stuff that'll work out better for him. And as usual, the show must go on. Seen a lot of people pruning their orchards around this area. I was planning on the end of February, beginning of March, doing that myself. So I'll probably be doing some pruning soon, and then either refrigerating some of the scions or immediately doing some grafting. Found another free source I'll be using somewhere else. But that's it for this one, guys. I can't wait to see it. See you next time. Papa out.